Okay, well,
Welcome.
we're going to do some really quick. Guess you didn't turn on her do not
did.
disturb.
It's just the volume on my
No,
video was
I
up.
didn't.
Oh, Jen failed. Not me. Yay. Okay, so today we're going to play with...
Sorry, that's my husband.
Doesn't he know?
My goodness, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Welcome.
sorry.
Okay, today we are going to play with an easy piecing grid.
Right.
If you are not familiar with these, they are from 10 Sisters Handicraft.
Yes.
They are a sew-in fusible interfacing. If you're wondering what the material actually is. So it's smooth on this side. It's got your little gluey dots on this side. It has a printed grid on it, numbered. So it's really easy to lay out a project. We'll show you what it is. You can do projects that you can put like 12 grids together. You can make a whole quilt with a grid. You can make a wall hanging with one grid.
Jen and I have books.
Have done bags, her little tiny cute square bags.
Oh yeah, my scrappy bags.
Really easy to put together those postage stamp things.
Right, when you're going to put together 120
it's faster.
squares.
So we're going to show you how we play with this and make a quick Christmas wall hanging today.
It's joy.
It's joy.
So I cut out a whole bunch of 2-inch squares. And this is what we're going to work on. Now, if you get patterns from these guys, this is one of their free patterns, and that's the reason I'm showing it to you, because I don't give away patterns that aren't mine.
But she has quite a few free ones.
There are a lot of free ones that you can play with, and like I said, we have several of the books.
Her books.
Which will go into big quilts,
In
which
fact,
is awesome.
one of her free patterns on her website is a Minecraft one, which for Jen and I, we know that... Which, you know, it's all super pixelated anyway. For those of you who don't know Minecraft, you're welcome. Stay that way. But for Jen and I and other people who have to, it's awesome.
Makes life really easy. So here we go. What we have down here in the pattern is the number of squares of each color. You'll notice in here we have some half square triangles. We're just going to make those to begin with. So it doesn't all have to be squares. You can add half square triangles or quarter square triangles or whatever you need to.
All sorts of things.
To this.
Her patterns are really simple.
Very
simple. It's going to tell you need this many squares. The grids come in quite a few different sizes.
And they're all going to be sized as finished. So this is a 1.5 inch finished panel that we're working with, which means we're cutting 2-inch squares.
Yes.
So it's all sized as the finished size because that corresponds well to her books.
The other thing I want to tell you about this, so we cut 2-inch squares. If you take your little ruler over the grid on here, you're going to notice that the inside of that grid is slightly bigger than 2 inches. That's good. And it's because physics, okay? When we fold it, we add bulk, and so we want to make sure that we have enough to not lose our size and not lose points or anything like that. So your 2-inch squares will have a little bit of an outline left over. After we
by
put
the
it
way,
in.
these, guys, we chose an ombre confetti for our white. The more confetti ones are at the bottom. So my stack is ombre.
Of course it is.
So you can choose from.
I'm taking a copy of this. You can take a copy.
We have 2 copies. Now, one of the things I want to tell you, because I've taught a class with these before, and I've had several people lose their place in the pattern.
Ooh, where's the pen?
So what I want you to do...
So these grids are numbered.
As you place it, you can number it on your pattern. These are printables, which means you can print yourself another one if you want a clean one. Or you can be like me and put them all in a plastic sheet that I can write on all over and wipe it right off. But you can even cross out the square once you've placed it down. And that'll help you keep track of where you are. But you'll see Liz here, she's written down
the 1 through 9 and the 1 through 14.
So it's like this is square 1, 1, 1, 2, etc. So that's going to make it easier. So Liz is going to start placing these down. And I'm going to start making her some half square triangles.
Now, as I place these, I'm going to make me that half square triangle first because I need it. Okay, and we're going to do the one at a time method for half square triangles.
Right. One of my least favorites, but it meant I only had to cut out one size.
Yeah. ease of use right now. So I'm just going to lay these out about 2 to 3 rows at a time, and then we press them on. Okay? And it's fun. It's kind of like a puzzle.
It is a little puzzle-ish.
So I have my nice big pressing mat that I'm on here. This is actually my mom's alpaca mat. If you're unfamiliar with alpaca versus wool,
It's
this
fancier.
thing is like super soft and fancy. She tells me it can take higher heat, like more heat will move through it.
Also, it's really good for those who have a wool allergy.
And it doesn't smell like wool.
That being said, we're not necessarily carrying them in the shop, but we will special order one for you.
We do special. So if you have a wool allergy or you just can't handle the smell of a wool mat, which I totally understand, they are a really good alternative. They are pricier, just as a
Para ti.
fair warning. All right. But they're awesome. And I'm just sitting here petting it because it's so soft. So we
I
just
told
take our
Tyson
cute
we need some alpacas.
little half square triangles. Jen's like going to start a farm here in about half a second. And I think she's crazy, but that's okay.
It'd be fun to have alpacas.
So, okay. When we do this pattern, we have our grid. And then this white around here is an outer border, okay?
So that's not on the
So
grid.
it's just the letters and the white space that's going to fill in on our grid. And then after we sew all that together, we trim the grid and add a border.
Yep. Easy
Entiendes?
peasy. So I've got a couple of her half square triangles. I'm going to make a few more. And then we're just going to press and sew. We want to show you guys just how
Fast
easy
this goes together.
these are.
So laying it out is the first task. I'm going to get my J laid out. I'm going to move these down so I can scoot it.
That's fine.
And then we're going to press the J. Okay?
Yeah,
That's my
it's
plan.
you don't really want to lay everything out
No.
first because it's not sticky. It's not going to just stay there.
It's not going to stay.
And I've had people do that. One of the things we're going to do here with pressing that's going to be really helpful is when we're going to use a pressing sheet. That way
We don't get glue on
we
our
don't get glue
iron.
because we have this outer border here.
Well, and you'll see that there's
and
this teeny gap between each of the
There
squares.
is a
which
little
there's-
bit of a gap between the squares, and we don't want that to gunk up
that
our
glue is
iron.
going to go somewhere.
Okay, so a pressing mat is a good thing. If you don't have one,
Pressing sheet. of
a
some
pressing
sort.
sheet. You're
You
right.
can use
'cause
your
we're on a mat.
silicone mats.
So we have you have the silicone aptly fused type of a mat. The one we're using here is a very simple non-stick pressing sheet. It looks like nothing. It's in a little bag, but
Oh, what the heck did I
it's
just...
totally reusable.
I got off. Guys,
You did.
pay attention.
You did. You got to have a space in your J.
I know, see? I got ahead of myself.
She's like, oh, I know what I'm doing. Here, does that help?
Yeah, put the hole in there.
There's the hole. Now we have a J. I was like, what are you doing?
I know. I was like, this doesn't look right. Anyway, these projects are fun. This is, Sarita did our little 1/2-inch Idaho this way. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
have
if you've ever
that.
seen Liz's, so Liz designed the Idaho quilt. Sarita made it tiny. So instead of the 4-inch squares that are in the pattern, she made it out of cutting 1-inch squares. So they finished at 1/2 inch.
1/2 inch. And that's
So
the
when
smallest
people
piece
are
of wood
like,
that,
hey, that's crazy. Who did that? We're like, well, that was Sarita. But it's not as crazy as it looks because she laid it out and
she cut 1-inch squares and laid it out on exactly like one sheet of the 1/2-inch ones.
Right. So she didn't have to sew together all the 1-inch
Yeah,
squares.
she didn't sew together all those squares and then try and press them one at a time
Right.
because that would blow.
I mean, you can do it. I've done it. It's not the funnest thing.
But,
And I even like tiny pieces.
well, and then all your corners are perfect.
Right?
It's kind of crazy how that works.
It is
But
kind of fun.
so I'm going to put lots of confetti on the... I need to get my pressing sheet out from underneath there. Can you help me slide that out?
I would love to.
Thank you. Okay.
See, guys, I mean, it looks almost like a little piece of a tarp,
It really kind of does. look
right?
almost
I'm
a
like,
piece of
it's
tarp.
plastic. I shouldn't iron on it.
But it will not ruin your iron, I promise.
And you won't melt it. It's weird. I mean, weird in a good way. It's awesome. Just trust it.
Right?
But the nice thing is it is kind of slippery. And the benefit of that is that we're not going to have friction. So it's not going to be grabbing on
To the
glue in here. But it's also not going to be grabbing onto your fabric and trying to move your fabric around as you press it.
I am this anal. You're going to be okay.
It's okay, because my thought, I cut an extra one of the border because I was like, I want the borders to be like the dark ombre in the corners.
Now I got to grab some out of the middle.
Right.
Jen understands me. I
do.
understand if the rest of you
I
don't.
would be doing the same thing, and it would drive me crazy if she wasn't doing that. So, this is how we work.
Crazy. We work crazy.
Cassie, you should totally make some little Idahomes as Christmas gifts. It'd be a great Christmas present for all of us Idaho people. I think it's funny because I have gotten comments from other people like, Idaho people really like their state. Like, we have like stickers on our cars and...
Hey, we're nothing compared to crazy Texas people.
Right. We get nothing on Texas, but Texas is Texas.
That is true.
But I was like, yeah, apparently we do. We like where we're from. But if you were from Idaho, you'd like it too. So
that's probably true. I came back.
I'm like, I left and came back. Actually, when I lived in California, everybody was telling me, you moved the wrong direction. And they were right. And I moved back.
Okay, so I have my first 5 rows laid out right here.
We've got a nice little joy.
Well, it's a J.
It's a J.
So now it's just ironing it on, you guys.
So the other thing she's got to be careful about while she's pressing is that she doesn't press onto the areas where we don't have any...
I don't want to fuse up that glue yet.
Right. We don't want to use the glue yet. So even though we're only pressing part of it right now, we want to make sure we're pressing the right parts. That doesn't say what I wanted to say.
Careful what you're doing. Just pay attention.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
That's what I said. Definitely pay attention. But really, it's not that hard, right?
And you feel like you're melting the sheet, but you're not.
Right?
Ta-da! I gotta get the top.
Yep.
Sorry, don't mind the sound effects.
We like sound effects. Sound effects are good.
Then I can scoot this over. Now this is not your super strongest, amazing adhesive that will never come apart.
Nope.
Okay.
Which is actually good because that means if you place something wrong,
you can fix it.
you can fix it.
So, but that means you don't want to, after you've fused all this, just wad it up in a ball and save it for later.
No.
It will come unfused.
Right.
Okay.
Ta-da!
So I got my J.
Alrighty.
We'll scoot over.
I have these for you that you might want to press. And so,
This is where I find the loose spots
right?
when I go to move it.
So those are your half square triangles for your O. Now I'm just going to make a whole bunch of half square triangles for the Y because, you know,
There's a few.
the Y needs some.
So this one used 3 different colors.
Yep. Oh, and the fabric line we're using, I should tell you. It's called Hustle and Bustle by Basic Gray. Okay, there were a lot of really good Christmas fabrics this year, guys, but this is...
When we have to choose between 200 like Christmas fabric lines, it's a lot of fun.
It's hard, but this one, like, for classic Christmas colors and everything, it's my favorite.
Jen, we all loved this one.
Like,
And of course, it was the last one to show up. Because
Right.
that's
total
life.
bummer.
Life, right?
There, you need that for your oi.
Yeah, I do. Need it for my oi.
For your oi. So it was like the last one to get here, but I mean, this red is so red.
It's, yeah. There was a red plaid-ish
And there are like 4 shades
in
of
here,
red
and
in
it was
here.
awesome.
The
florals.
greens are gorgeous. The florals are beautiful. It adds this like peach color in there, just
But it's like
as an accent.
It's like a pinky skin type tone.
Right, like really peachy, not to the coral.
Yeah. Without being pink Christmas.
Right. Anyway, I love this one.
1, 2, 3.
I think I made that clear, right? I love this one.
I
So,
need that, so I'm scooting it over.
It was kind of fun. We cut just a couple of straight quarters to do this project because you don't need fat quarters, though you can get fat quarters. So if you just want to shop and pick out like 3 or 4, great. But you don't need to make a shop cut fat quarters for you because straight quarters actually make it easier.
I say it's easier and quicker to cut with straight
It's easier
quarters.
to do the width of fabrics.
That's the word.
I'm having more trouble talking today. I don't know why. I don't know.
I should.
I think George treated a squirrel.
Yeah, I think so. George's mom's dog.
Yeah.
He's a super cute
Is he a golden doodle or a labradoodle? He's a golden doodle.
And he's adorable and playful and fun.
But there's a tree right here outside.
He likes to tree squirrels.
And he likes to tree a squirrel, like right there.
So if you hear barking.
That's just George. George is good. We like George.
You could help me if you wanted.
I could.
I mean, you don't have to. But it might speed things up.
I can invade her space. Been doing it since
been
before I was
Doing
born.
it since prior to our birth.
We can't have a bubble. We shared a bubble.
Shared a bubble.
Sorry.
For those who didn't know we were identical twins, now you know too much about
Now
us.
you know.
You're like, didn't care. Thank you.
Right. Way too much information. I'm going to press these over here real quick.
Okay, that's fine.
Because we're going to need a couple of these guys up here at the top, because with this pattern, the Y fits a little bit behind the O. Oh.
Oh, like this.
Oh. Except these were supposed to be background. Never mind. Hold on. I messed up. That's okay. Guess who cut too many squares just in case?
That's always a good idea.
I was using the white dots as a background fabric.
Yeah, it's
They're not.
The other white dots are the background.
The other white dots. The other white dots.
Because I like to confuse her.
Right.
Just for laughs and giggles.
See, so this one right here, not even going to cut it and press it. Put it over there. Oh, back to work, back to work.
Ooh, you got this one just right, though.
Yeah. It's because the O uses the most.
I can see that.
It needed 32. So, good thing I only messed up on 4 of them.
That's probably good. Our background is one of the ombre confetti metallics from like 4 years ago that I still love, that are still awesome.
Right?
From Vanessa.
So you're going to want 2 of these for 4. The word is for, not fur.
For them?
For them. Man alive.
My grammar Nazi over here is not having great grammar.
Right? I know how I speak when I'm lazy, and it drives me crazy.
I spent years irritating her with my bad grammar just for fun.
She did. She thought it was
Here,
funny.
go press it.
Fine.
Anyway, it was funny, and it irritated her to no end, which was great.
That makes Liz happy.
It does. I used to sing her favorite country music songs bad, too, in the car with her boyfriend in high school, just to piss her off.
She did.
It was fun. It pissed both of them off. I had a great time.
It did. For those of you who are only children, look at the joy you missed out on. Actually, we're good. It's all good. It's how we work. I've got to get my hair out of here.
Like, out of your face or out of the room?
Out of my face. Probably not out of the room.
Okay, so we're going to press the O. You'll see that we did a little tiny bit of the Y up here. You'll see how it continues in a second. After I get my O all pressed.
Right.
And then we're going to sew it together really fast.
Super fast. I wish we could go hyperlapse speed, but we
on
can't.
that part. I wish we could.
Um,
But because we do need to show you turning the second direction.
right.
Full show.
But that's okay. We can talk about other things while Jen sews. Liz can talk about other things
That's
while
true.
Jen sews. Because we have other fun things here to talk about.
I married a very quiet guy, and some people think that's crazy, but mostly he listens to me talk,
That works well.
so it works out well. Because for being an introvert, I talk a lot. There's our O.
And we'll go to the Y.
I'm just going to fold this over on one of its natural folds right there so that I'm not distorting it
Right.
unnecessarily.
Dos mas. Okay.
Okay. Have my pattern here with my numbers,
Right.
you guys, so I can
We're on row 11.
keep track of what I'm doing. Okay?
You might want this.
Oh, yeah. And go up to the, this is my ADD. I can't just go one way. Sorry.
I know it's like I'm here, then I'm here, then I'm here, then
Well, I
I'm
know
here.
I need to go up to there. So if I put it up, go press those.
I need one more.
Oh, fine. So if I need to go up to there, then I don't have to think about it anymore if I just put the top ones down.
Right.
Guys, I do the same thing when I'm laying out cookie sheets. I start here, 4, go across, then it's like...
This, and my daughter's like, why don't you just make rows? I'm like, well,
Because that's boring.
I'm bored.
Yes, it's... if you don't understand the ADD brain, good job. Congratulations. Because I don't either, and I have one. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Right. For somebody as OCD as I am, you think I'd lay out the cookie sheet, like, precision the same way every time? No.
Can't be
I don't.
bothered.
I just don't.
It's really interesting as you figure out how your brain works
Right?
and why you feel like you're so crazy sometimes.
A lot of times you are. It's okay.
That way. I was like, that's not right.
Nope.
That's not right either.
Yeah, it is. It's covered.
That's
But it's
right.
good. See, if I do this
That's
right
upside
side
down.
up, you know, because right side showing, that's what we're doing here. Right
Okay.
side up.
Yeah.
Man alive, Jen.
Right? I was struggling with those ones earlier.
Well, because the thing is, some of them are metallic and some of them are not. And so the ones that are not look like the metallic ones upside down.
Oh, I was like, I need one more. You had it.
Is there?
I just didn't. Goes this way.
Mm-hmm.
It needs a solid one right there.
Ah, see,
Because it only needs one more background square.
it does. Which means I'm going to be particular.
See, but look how quick. I know
Right?
it doesn't look super
Oi.
quick because you've been watching this for a minute
I
or
mean,
20.
not that long.
But we just laid out a whole wall hanging.
Right.
And get our pressing sheet back. Press it down. Yes, this sheet feels like it's melting. It's not.
I know.
Even with this really hot iron.
Yeah, Mom's like, just fold it up, put it in your bag. We're like,
These are
okay.
great for if you do the collage stuff.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, even just a lot of other
Or
applique.
applique, where you need to be able to see your stuff and not have it shift. You guys, if you're on the I don't feel like buying anything end of this kind of stuff, parchment paper does work. Jen and I have used it a lot.
Yep.
I have to make sure I'm on the right side of it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the parchment paper from your, holiday baking.
Right. I always have parchment paper at my house.
Okay.
All right. Let's talk
So-
about how to use this stuff.
Ooh, we need to let it cool just a tad. I tore that.
Okay. It's fine.
Okay, so we're going to sew one direction and then the other.
Yep.
Which way do you want to go? Long ways?
Let's go this way.
You sure that's way more seams? Well, I guess it's the same amount of seams to clip either way.
But this way we can, let's showcase this.
So if we do it long ways, see how it folds all nicely because there's this gap between the rows?
Right.
There's not even pinning required here, you guys.
Yep.
Just fold this and sew a 1/4 inch seam.
That's all I'm going to do.
That's all it is, okay? And she's going to do it over and over. But when we turn to go the other direction, I need to show you a step that you can't skip. So,
Right, because it doesn't work.
So for this one, I am just going to do it as a wall hanging. You could quilt it on your domestic machine. I mean, some cute cross hatching would be awesome. Or straight lines or whatever floats your boat.
Right.
We did cut strips for a small inner border. And then this is going to be my binding. And I think this thing will probably fit close to on a fat quarter for the background, if I remember right.
It'll be a little big for that.
Will it? I can't remember.
25.
Oh, yep. It's too big for a fat quarter. Half yard will do it.
Half yard will do it.
Okay, so Christmas is coming. We all know this. It's holidays. If you celebrate Hanukkah, you're already well into this. Look, I have squares for you.
I got one.
And we have lots of great gift ideas, gift cards. In fact, I just ordered new fancy barcode gift cards this morning. Like we're actually going to be grown-ups.
And now we're going to flip and go to the next one.
Yes, you're losing a square.
Oops, I lost a square.
The beautiful part about that is we can just press it back on. I'll just use the tip of the thing. This is why you can't manhandle it too much, you guys.
Right. It's going to be fine. Just a little bit.
Okay. It stays, don't manhandle.
Right. Don't want to flip it around. So you can see my seam. Well, you might be able to see my seam.
I'll move this one off. So it's just popped over to the next row.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep going, folding it over and over until you do the 8 seams, because it's 9, right? 9.
Sure.
So she's got 8 seams to do. Okay, so Christmas is coming. We have gift cards. Send the kids and the husband. We also can do wish lists. And if you need a last minute Christmas gift or quilts, yes ma'am. Did I do it upside down? Yeah. She wins. She'll just pin that one. Okay. We have a couple awesome, huge Christmas panels that make a very fast quilt. The first one is this one. It's the Peace on Earth one from Vanessa Gerritsen of Layla Boutique and Moda. It is a huge panel, you guys. The panel comes out to here, so it's a big throw. Jen put a small stop border and an outer border on it. I'm dropping things, I apologize. Quilted it up with some nice, pretty cactus minky, which matches perfectly.
Her green perfectly.
And it makes a great gift, great quick Christmas quilt. Totally quilt it on your domestic.
It doesn't have to be a gift. You can
or you could keep it, because it's okay to have 12 Christmas quilts in your living room.
Right.
I'm just going to say it.
Right. Somebody had to.
Some people might not think that so, but I think that it is. Okay. Another one is this one from Create Joy Project. I don't know what it's. Also from Moda. I posted a picture of it on the long arm yesterday. Jen's been working on it. Same thing. It's a nice, big, huge panel. Pretty much the same size as this one, I believe.
It's the exact same size.
Jen added, so it comes with this little light blue stop border, kind of like this one had the heart, the dots. I've been cutting her love note, and it's so similar, but it's hearts, so I can't keep them straight. So Jen added a second border and the 2 borders and a binding.
Yep.
Also gorgeous.
I'm going to go home and bind that one today.
Yeah, and we put it on, what was the minky color?
Oh, I don't know, but it was gorgeous.
It is like this tealy blue.
But like dark.
But dark, and it's so pretty because it's totally the colors in this. It was just awesome.
And anyway, it's a Lex.
It's
like heavy.
It was on the long. I posted a picture of it, so hopefully y'all saw it. Anyway,
if not, go back and look.
You should go back and look. It's in our feed. Third one. Sorry, I have to walk around to find it. This one is from Simple Simon & Co., which is 2 sister-in-laws,
Liz and Liz.
Liz and Elizabeth. from Riley Blake.
But not this Liz.
Not me. I've met them. I'm another one, but I'm not part of their family. They married brothers. So it's kind of fun. And it says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. We have it in
3 colors. 2.
2.
Gray and green.
Gray and green. Also, I think it's the same size as this one.
It's pretty much it.
So you can do the same thing. Quilt it up as it is, or throw a couple borders on it and make it a little bit bigger.
We do have a sample of it at the shop that Jerry made.
Jerry made it.
I need to press this down. Excuse me.
I'm in Jen's way.
I pinned it, but it's not going to fold beautifully, so I'm going to press it again.
Okay.
There.
Okay.
Now my life is better.
So it's bunching up like this, kind of makes an accordion.
Right.
Don't shake it too much, it will come loose. So, yeah. Where was I? Christmas. We were talking
Christmas.
We love Christmas. We do. Actually, I really do. In fact, it's part of the reason we do cutoff dates for Christmas quilting is because we all have families, and I love you all, but I can't be doing your quilts the week before Christmas.
I can't be at the shop 4 nights a week until midnight quilting.
In December.
I mean, okay, I
shouldn't say that with my kids.
I can.
I choose not to.
I won't. I love you, but I won't.
So,
You know?
yes, we love you guys, but we
Boundaries.
have families too. Right?
Boundaries.
Healthy limits. That's what they tell me. I need to set. I guess I struggle. But we have lots of Christmas fabric left. Tons to choose from for last minute projects.
That being said, it's getting small.
Getting smaller. Our Christmas cove keeps shrinking.
Dramatically. Like, emptied a cart last night. Monday night.
So if there's something you've been waiting on, or you just need a back or a border, I wouldn't wait a whole lot longer. Right. It's going to start getting really picked over really fast.
Yeah. I do always get a kick when people are like, this is all the Christmas you have left when they come in on December 15th. And I'm like,
somebody came in this year 2 weeks before Halloween says, are you going to get any more Halloween fabric? And I thought, no. Because you guys, we have done most of our shopping for Christmas fabric for next year. We have we are Christmas fabric shopped out.
Yeah.
So at this point, if we don't have it in the shop, we won't be, because nobody's making any more Christmas. Well, they are making more Christmas fabric for next year. It'll come next summer, because then everyone will tell me, why is the Christmas fabric out in summer? And we'll have this fun cycle that happens.
We love that conversation every year. Over and over and over again.
Every year, all the time. It's so fun. We love you guys. Other fun gift ideas for your husbands or children that come into the shop all the time and say, I need a dinner or something. I
would say the top ones have been
rulers,
especially like the really nice Quilter
Select rulers, because it's like, I need to get mom something. She can really get herself whatever she wants, but won't necessarily justify this ruler. So,
which is also where we see a lot of the wool mats.
Wool mats, alpaca mats, little gifty stocking stuffers. Like, we just got some new JK Quilts Creative Grids rulers. This is our favorite size, the 2.5 by 6.5. It's a handy dandy little ruler. Our new ones are in purple. They were supposed to be magenta. So in case you're wondering why we chose purple, we didn't. We chose magenta. But they're purple.
Apparently magenta is purple.
Because somebody somewhere. I don't know.
Not me.
But they're discounted because they're purple. So they're cheaper. And I think we have 500 of them. So
that's fun.
What else
the other fun thing that we get a lot of this time of year is the quilty Christmas friends.
Yes. So for your friends in your quilting groups, stash and stores are always popular. Charms.
Diagonal seam tape. Thread-a-stat. That was the new one.
Ooh, yes. Because not everybody has one, but they're amazing. And where's ours?
I don't know.
Anyway, lots of fun things.
It's a hemostat for a thread.
It's a hemostat for thread. If you don't know what a hemostat is, congratulations, you haven't spent enough time in a hospital. That's good for you.
Way to go.
Seriously, congrats.
Yeah, seriously, I own like 3.
I say I keep one in like every bag I have because it's just a handy dandy
I have
size.
one on my sewing table, one on my work table, one in my travel bag.
And yes.
So, yeah.
Perfect scissors.
Oh, that's another splurge.
They're kind of a splurge item because they're $25
But let me
scissors.
tell you something. People who are good with sewing, we know what good fabric scissors are worth. Like, I'm sorry, but I was poor and I saved up for my gingers when I was sewing clothing.
Oh yeah, and I still love my gingers.
I love my gingers.
For these small ones. In fact, I just splurged and bought myself the bigger pair of the Perfect Scissors, the purple handle ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, fantastic Christmas gift. So if you need to make your list that you can send somebody in with.
Mo wants to know how to do one online.
How to do a wish list on. Sarita might have a method. I'll have to check.
Because I know we have a place we can save it in their customer profile.
I would say in the shop I can save it in your customer profile. So next time you come in, I could.
Or you could. She's gonna hate me. Email her.
You could email Sarita. Mo, you can. She won't hate you for that.
She'll hate me. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. Collecting them.
Well, we all know they're collector's items.
Well, they are because Creative Grids makes them for all the, well, we buy them from Creative Grids. But they're at a good price point that all the shops buy them with their names on it. So that's a really fun thing to collect from all the shops you go to.
Right.
It's fun.
I mean, it's better than like a weird little, you know, like the license plate panel.
Oh, from the row by row stuff?
Because what do you do with that? Unless you collect a gajillion and make a quote.
I left my drink in the car. No wonder. It's okay. I'm just getting all cotton mouthy because I'm talking. Jen's on her last scene. And then I'm going to show you the fun trick to turning this. We're not going to complete it. I'll take it home and finish it.
Nope.
But I do want to show you turning it at least one direction.
Right.
Okay?
We need a clip and turn.
I won't make you watch this whole process.
Right? It seems mundane, but guys,
this is fast.
think how many squares I've sewn together.
In the last, 10 minutes.
Or less. I'm just straightening it as I go, but seriously.
No pinning.
Just flying.
No nothing. It's awesome. Okay. This is when our nice little sharp points on our Karen K. Buckley scissors.
Because we want it sharp to the tip.
Are gonna come in handy. Okay. So, our Joy just got squatty.
It's very squatty.
I don't know if you guys can, how well you can see that. I'm cutting this off because it's distracting. Okay. So, now the idea is to sew the other direction. But, if we just fold it and sew the other direction, we're going to get some really bulky seams right here, okay?
And we don't like bulk.
And you know that Jen and I believe in
nice, flat seams.
But now you can kind of manhandle it because it's all sewn down.
Right.
Okay.
Every square is sewn.
We're going to take, at each of these little intersections, this is the most time-consuming part of the whole thing, and it really doesn't take very long.
Nope. You think it's going to take forever.
You're going to just
really doesn't.
Snip this seam right here. Not all the way through. Please don't cut your seam.
Don't cut your thread. Cut up close to the thread.
Yeah.
You got to think what actually you're cutting there won't be fabric. It'll just be the interfacing.
Just interfacing.
So if you need to go a little further, that interfacing will tear once you've cut.
Yes.
So I wouldn't say do like a little 1/8 of an inch cut because then you're going to be tearing and pulling a lot. But don't go all the way to the thread.
Yeah.
It's gonna pull. It's gonna adjust. It's gonna be fine.
So I'm gonna cut 2 rows worth, and then show you what we do. Because then we're going to alternate the way we press the rows. Because we do have to press.
We do.
Okay, that is a need.
Right.
So, almost there.
It really doesn't take that long, especially if you're not doing it like this and you're just going all the way down the rows.
Yeah.
It goes a lot
I
faster.
just sit there at my table that's my cutting table because it's higher up, and it gets done in a heartbeat. Okay, so I've done these top 2 rows. This is the back of the interfacing, actually.
Go ahead and cut that right off.
That's...
And I would put the pressing sheet underneath so that as she presses, it doesn't
So we don't accidentally get glue on
to the alpaca mat.
Alpaca.
because there is still a little bit of excess there, and we don't want to ruin Mom's mat. She might be mad at us.
Probably. Okay, so we're going to press like we normally would, okay? I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit and get my seams nice and flat.
Easy peasy.
And it's going to kind of want to accordion in because I haven't cut everything and pressed everything. If I were to trim and press all of this, it wouldn't accordion like that. But I don't want to make you guys watch that. So now I'm going to turn it over. And on row 2,
we're going to go the other way. The benefit of this too is it's going to allow us to nest the seams.
Yes, so we continue to get perfectly matching.
Get really nice sharp corners. Which is awesome. We love that. And honestly, nesting is the best technique for really getting those things to line up perfectly.
One of my favorite things about the Easy Piecing Grid is how nice it makes everything match up. So I have these 2 rows here, columns at this point, and they're nice and pressed flat. We just fold it over. And as Jen feeds that through, we just have those seams
I'm not even going to pin
nested.
it. What I'm going to do is put on top of here, the side going down. So honestly, when I go back to do the next seam, I'm probably going to start at the bottom and come up this way. Because it's nice to have this top part going down.
But don't skip the clipping part and the nesting seams, okay?
No, don't do it.
It sounds really tedious.
But it's not. I mean, I'm just putting my finger here to make sure they go where they go. But the point is, with the grid, it's kind of there anyway.
And it's so much less tedious.
I'll just put my finger here and kind of like push it flat, and that'll get that perfectly nested.
Because you would have to nest all of these if you were doing just individual 1-inch or 2-inch squares, right?
Right.
Also, another beauty of this, especially for wall hangings, where I've got the interfacing attached to it, is that it's another structural layer.
Yep.
And so it's going to end up that nice firm product. At the same time, though, for a baby quilt, the interfacing is not going to get in the way. And then you have another structural layer as that baby quilt gets washed 10,000 times.
And worn and washed and washed and washed.
Then, okay, I'm going to press this one.
And then you can just press it to the side. Pick a side, any side, go for it. Because we're not going to
I'm not going to press it from the top until it gets trimmed, so, because I don't want to get glue on the iron.
Yeah, I'm usually actually a top presser. I prefer to press from the top versus
too.
from the back. It's that control thing.
Mom's freaked out that you didn't put an ender on there.
I know, it's because I'm done for the day.
Okay, so it's accordioning in. But you can see that we have our perfectly matched points all up in here.
And honestly, this is 10 minutes worth of work to finish it.
I'm going to go home and snip a bunch of corners and do some seams real fast. And I'll post a picture later today.
Right? And then we'll just...
I might even quilt it on my machine at home.
Oh, there you go.
Which I don't have a long arm, so I'd have to,
But it'd be super easy to crosshatch.
I know, so I could do it. We'll see. See how ambitious I get. I got lots to do today.
Yeah,
me
too.
Anyway.
I'm going to go finish Illusions.
We love our Easy Piecing Grids. We sell them individually or in packages of 6 or 12.
Right.
They come in different sizes, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5, and 2.
And they're not sold. So we have it on the bolt. It's not sold by the yard. It's sold by the panel.
By the panel.
So if you come and ask me for one, you get one panel.
Also, anyone who buys an Easy Piecing Grid today will include this fun little project with it.
Yep.
Okay, not the fabric, the instructions.
Right.
To be clear.
Yep.
Okay.
It's going to be great.
All right. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for being patient. It's a fun project. And it'd be an awesome quick gift. Actually, it'd be a good size for a big placemat or something even.
Right? Table
That
centerpiece.
sitting on a chest or, yeah.
Right?
Anyway,
Definitely.
it'll be adorable.